Fidel Castro is finally dead. This is a moment to learn from history. This is a moment to learn about the brutal regime that was Fidel Castro's Cuba. This is a moment to learn about the failures of socialist planning on this tiny island nation. But don't expect to hear it from President Barack Obama. A statement by the president on the passing of Fidel Castro had this to say: "This moment fills Cubans with powerful emotions, recalling the countless ways in which Fidel Castro altered the course of individual lives, families, and the Cuban nation. History will record and judge the enormous impact of this singular leader." If you think that's bad, check out the Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's comments on Fidel Castro. He was a larger-than-life leader who served his people for almost half a century. A legendary revolutionary and orator, Mr. Castro made significant improvements to the education and healthcare of his island nation. You've got to be kidding me. Before anybody else gets goofy or nostalgic or romantic or revisionist about the Castro regime, let's put some facts on the table. Fidel Castro killed 141,000 people, typically by firing squad or disappearance. Some 78,000 balseros, people on rafts trying to escape socialist Cuba, died along the way, typically trying to get to America. What were they fleeing? Well, consider this. In Cuba today, a typical factory worker makes $17 a month. Under Castro, there was no freedom of speech. There was no freedom of assembly. There was no free press. Castro even banned rock and roll and Christmas Day. There were prisons filled with political dissidents and religious dissidents and people that didn't agree with Castro, Afro-Cuban priests, homosexuals, anybody that didn't fit the central plan. That was socialism under Fidel Castro. It is a nasty legacy, and if you're not willing to call it out, we will never learn from history. Socialism under Castro kills.